Hello, I'm Jack Priday.
And I'm Luke Wilkins.
And welcome to That Show. Today we'll be joined in the studio by special guest Sammy Cattell, vocalist and bassist of skate punk band Footjoy.
He'll be giving us an exclusive performance. But first, we sent reporter Matt Tancock to Mansell Raceway to investigate the recent rise in karting interest.
Kart racing is considered one of the most popular motorsports in the UK. I'm Matt Tancock and I'm here to find out why.
I think the main thing that attracts people to kart racing is that it's quite cheap to go racing once you've bought your initial equipment. As long as you maintain it and look after it, then you can keep the costs down. And it's also it's a sport where you can start from a very early age, from 6 in Bambinos right up to 70, 80. I don't know who the oldest karter is, but I should imagine they're quite old. The circuit has to be inspected by the MSA once a year. We have a permit to say that it's been inspected and a track licence. The track is inspected before every race meeting. All the barriers are checked. Any damaged barriers are replaced or removed. And generally, all the normal precautions that we take. The karts are scrutineered before they're allowed to go racing, and before the race meeting starts, everyone has a 3-lap practice just so they can shake down anything they've changed or highlight any initial problems.
I started karting at the age of 7. I started off about the age of 3 on quad bikes, moved into go-karts when I was 7, stopped last year due to other commitments. Now moved on. Last year I started in my first kart season, racing 6 and Saxo. Now been picked up by a British touring kart team and doing the double cup this year. We've been racing the Mark 5 Gold. Yeah, quite so nice.
The younger age groups are pretty fearless, and that's one of the problems we have. They believe that they think they're impervious to injury, but the younger guys are now starting to wear more involved neck braces, harnesses, just to stop the head moving. They have lighter helmets, and obviously the karts don't go as fast, but yeah, it's more in the safety equipment rather than the karts themselves.
Somebody could turn up, literally sort of get out of the car, put the crash helmet on, drive the go-kart, which belongs to the team, and they'll rent it. It's like the corporate karts we have.
It's been a brilliant day here at Mansell Raceway, but now it's back to you in the studio.
We're joined now by Sammy Cattell.
Right, guys. Have you ever been karting, Sammy, yourself?
I've been a couple times, like with the band and some friends, and that. It's pretty fun.
Where have you
Racing
been?
around and stuff like that. There was one up by Barnstable, North Devon.
Yeah.
Yeah, around there. That was pretty sweet. Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Awesome. So we hear you've been working on an EP. Can you tell us much about that?
Right. Well, yeah, we've been busy bees lately. We've got a load of material. We've got about 10, 11 tracks, and we're going to fit them onto like a 5-6 track EP.
Yeah.
Which we've been working over for about a year. And we're just at the stage now where we're picking and choosing sort of thing. But they're all really cool songs, and like some of them will be on the album, hopefully, like when we get to that stage and that. But no, yeah, they're sounding really, really good. So excited,
I mean, the track we heard was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually interviewed Sammy before for a special report I did about modern radio versus the internet. I'm Jack Priday, and I'm here in Exeter to explore whether radio is still relevant and how internet is affecting the modern music industry. I interviewed local musician Sammy Cattell and freelance radio journalist Joe Kidd to hear their thoughts on the subject.
when you start a band, it's hard to get known, if you know what I mean, like early on. And the radio, even though it's like local radio, it's easy for people to listen because all they have to do is turn, and they don't have to pay for anything. So, oh yeah, it's definitely it helps a lot of bands get started, kind of thing. So, yeah, absolutely.
And do you feel a large internet presence is quite important for bands nowadays?
Oh, especially Facebook and or like Twitter, compared to like the old times, like it was so hard to get known around the world, and now all you need to do is post a video on Facebook and millions of people can see it. So it helps bands hugely, absolutely hugely. Yeah.
When I was in year 8, there was an advertisement in my school to be on school radio. So after much thought, I put in an application and got in, and I worked my way up and eventually became director and producer. And when I left school, I became freelance, and that's where I am today. I think these days probably yes. Like if you hear a song on the radio, you'll go out and you'll say yes, I want to buy that. That's a really good song. There is always sort of the annoying thing that you have to wait till after the song's finished to hear who it's by. But with things like Spotify and iTunes now, Radio 1 on their page, they link to iTunes and things. They said what they've played and they link to iTunes and Spotify. So yeah, it's definitely still relevant.
So you'd say like radio play and sessions are still quite important?
Oh yeah, I mean like the Radio 1 Live Lounge is still really important. Another guy set that up and he's still really excited about it. It's still really relevant. So I think now, because it's easier to communicate with them with like Twitter and you can text and things like that, it's much easier to say like, oh, really liking the show, oh, why don't you try this, why don't you try that? It's a lot harder to sort of get it right, but you get a lot of instant feedback while you're on air.
Yeah, so once again, like you'd say social networks
are important. Definitely. Music, I personally don't illegally download music, I actually don't. I think it does spoil the industry. I know in certain cases when you're not sure if you like a song, it's a bit annoying, and now iTunes have extended it so you can listen to 1.5 minutes worth of a song to know if you actually like it rather than the 30 seconds. But Spotify is free and you can hear what you want, and now YouTube. I think it does kill the industry, but also it would be a bit better if music was cheaper.
So what do you think? Is radio still as important as it once was? Or is the availability of music online just making it irrelevant? Or perhaps they can work together to create new, exciting experiences. I'm Jack Priday, reporting from Exeter. Back to you in the studio. So Sammy, in that interview, I talked to you about radio sessions. From my understanding, you've actually had one recently.
Yeah, we did a radio session down in Torquay on Riviera FM, and that was really cool. Again, because we're a skate punk band, we're quite loud and fast and that. And we did like an acoustic session, so it was a bit like we'd never really done it before, so it was quite interesting. But once we'd done it, we played 3 songs on there, and it sounded really nice, genuinely really mellow and cool. So yeah, we were really happy with it, and this is a good experience, and obviously it gets us out there, you know, so it's all good.
So, I mean, have you got any interesting band stories, Sammy?
Yeah, I've got some pretty crazy. We're just really weirdos.
Yeah, I know it can get pretty wild, on tour with bands and stuff.
We're just freaks. We find the most stupidest things funny. I have this obsession with sloths. I just think they're the most funniest things. Sloths and animals with no feet. It's just I just don't know. I'm a weirdo, but no, yeah. Obviously, there's a lot, but I don't think I can really say.
So
a lot of naked running around and stuff.
Have you had any preparation for the cover of your EP? Have you got any ideas about what?
Yeah, we've had some funny ones. I drew this weird little fox just off his head on crack or something, just putting his finger in a puddle of his own spit. And then our manager didn't really like that one. So. But
I can't see why.
No. But I don't know. We're still debating. We like the whole black and white, old school sort of thing, and probably some skate stuff. We haven't really got to that point yet.
Do you plan to sell some physical copies as well?
Oh yeah, at gigs and that. We've got merch, we've got T-shirts and that as well. I mean, it's not going to be expensive, you know what I mean? So we'll probably sell it around £5.
Other than like going to see a live show or buying your CD, how else can people check out your music?
We've got a Facebook page, which obviously when the EP comes out, we'll upload it to there. And we're going to get Twitter and YouTube, and we're doing like live sessions like here today and stuff like that we can put on there for wider audiences to see.
Good stuff.
So obviously your live performance coming up. The song you're playing, can you tell us a bit more about that?
It was like one of the first songs we ever wrote as a band, and it's quite an important song to me as well, because it's about the whole EP and all the songs is about growing up and like what you go through, like love, tragedy, and all that sort of thing. And yeah, this song was like a bit personal to me, so. And but it's great because it sounds really cool, like with the fast, with the electric and the drums and that. But it also sounds really nice and mellow with just the acoustic and the vocals.
So I mean, regarding writing songs, is it your personal experience, or do you come together as a band?
I mean, when we're writing songs, like Max will come up with like a riff, and I'll come up with a riff or something like that. That's how it normally starts, and I would like come up with a melody. Like I would not necessarily like. I would just say anything, but in the melody, and then I would write the lyrics kind of thing, and then we go into the studio and John will add the drums and that. But I don't know, yeah, I write like all the songs, but if the guys have an input or they want to write a song, that's fine, like that's totally cool. But no, it works, and it works really well, so yeah.
Awesome. So actually here it is now, Footjoy performing an exclusive acoustic rendition of their new song, Nothing Matters.
This'll be the last time that you're on my mind. It's hard to say so, I know that you will know. It's nothing on me, just something about me. I can't pursue you anymore. These things happen, have to deal with them. Nothing matters, I am all on my own. There are some things that you cannot undo, like love, like time, and like me and you. See that you don't want me, it breaks my heart. We were so good at the start, now this will haunt me. Please someone help me, I can't pursue you anymore. These things happen, have to deal with them. Nothing matters, I am all on my own. There are some things that you cannot undo, like love, like time, and like me and you. Me and you. Me and you. Me and you. These things happen, have to deal with them. Nothing matters, I am all on my own. There are some things that you cannot undo, like love, like time, and like me and you.
That's all we have time for tonight. Special thanks to Sammy Cattell and Max Knight of Footjoy.
Join us next week when we'll be joined by Johnny Depp to talk about his new film The Lone Ranger and a man who plays banjo with his feet.
Good night. I don't think it was long enough, but yes.